Hello, happy February, everyone, and happy Thursday. Hope y'all are having a great week and a great start to February. I trust everyone had a fabulous January. Mine was not the best January I've ever had, and I was going to say it's not been the best month of the year, but it's been the only month of the year. So here's hoping for a fabulous February, and I do hope everyone is well. I know there's been a lot of people with the cold and the flu. The flu's been crazy this year. I hope everyone is staying healthy, and if you're sick, please stay home and take care of yourself. I actually did something a little out of my norm yesterday. I took the day off, kind of. I still did my morning stuff. I did my chores, and I had some errands to do, but I was done with everything around 11, and I took a shower and put pajamas on, and I did nothing. Well, I watched some videos. I watched The Amazing Race because I love that show. I want to be on that show. I've talked about that, though. Anyway, and I will be honest, I was kind of bored in between. Not with what I was watching. I just struggled. Like, I was laying there watching videos. I'm like, I can't watch videos. I need to be, like, painting or rooting while I watch videos because that's, like, my norm for me. I'm very much a creature of habit. I needed the day off. I needed to recenter myself. I needed to just step away from everything and take some time to ponder. So I reset myself yesterday, basically, for lack of a better phraseology. And then today I have been down here painting. I have a baby in the oven right now. I've just started. I started painting earlier this week, and when they get to the point where they look like they actually have something on them, I will show works in progress, but at this point you won't be able to see a darn thing really. So anyway, but I was just watching some videos while I was painting, and I saw Suzanne of Baby Bunting's Nursery in Australia was talking in one of her videos about like your earliest memory of loving dolls, like your conscious memories. And it was a very lovely video, and she shared a very sweet book from her childhood that was gifted to her from her grandmother, which, talk about the feelies, and just very, very sweet, and it was a lovely video. And so I would like to share, and if you've been on my channel for a long time, some of this will be repetitive. But for those of you that are new, or you've only been with me for a short while and didn't go back, I want to share this with you. So for all of you that this is new, welcome, and thank you for staying. This is my very first doll. Her name is Mary Elizabeth. I was given her the day that I was born. No, I don't have a conscious memory of that. However, all of my childhood memories at home, like playing in my room, have Mary Elizabeth in them. I very much loved to play house and school and nurse, those kind of things. That's what I played. Like, that was my imaginative play. I was very blessed. The house we lived in, my bedroom actually had like a little area that jutted out. It was almost like a second little room, and it actually had in that home, my mother bought me a canopy bed. So over there I had a little wooden red bed before I got the canopy. So my mom put that over there. I had my little, fridge and stove. So my kitchen set. I had a chifforobe for my doll clothes. I had a changing table. My little rocking chair that Genevieve sits in was my rocking chair. However, it was painted pink. That was like my little house in our house. Mary Elizabeth did sleep with me till I was probably about 5 or 6. At the foot of my bed is where I kept... for those of you who, way back, if y'all remember, I had a little metal working crib. The little side went up and down. It was a doll crib. It was actually my mother and her sister's doll's crib. And then my mother acquired it and like asked if she could take it when I was born. And I was the first, was I the first girl granddaughter? I think I might have been. And it was actually my bassinet, and then it was then my doll's crib. And around 5 or 6 one night, I started putting Mary Elizabeth to bed in that little crib instead of sleeping with her. And it's so interesting because Suzanne mentioned in her video, she showed one of her beautiful rattles. She has a lovely rattle collection. and it's the one that has the silver handle and the mother of pearl teething ring and the little bell. And she was talking about how, hi Suzanne, I forgot to say hi to you, how it could be like a choking hazard nowadays, and back then nobody thought anything. You know, back in those days you'd put a baby out in a pram outside by itself with that rattle, and they would like suck on the bell and, you know, shake it and chew it, and nobody thought anything of it. This doll slept with me, and you know, she's like hard plastic. You would never nowadays. I mean, people don't even want to put blankets in the bed with a baby. So it's just so interesting how times have changed. But I'm still here, as is Suzanne. But I don't think that was Suzanne's rattle. But anyway, no, because she said she acquired them on eBay. But I don't want to give away your whole video. I'll put a link to Suzanne's down in my description. Go watch that video. It's very, very sweet. And she has a lovely channel and beautiful babies that she paints herself. She has Pippa and Jaunty, and now her new Lottie, who's so beautiful. They're all beautiful. And anyway, I will let you go check out her channel. But Mary Elizabeth is a part of my childhood consciousness. I loved, to me, she was a real baby. I have this baby laying next to her. They are Horseman dolls. That is the brand that put them out. It's really hard to tell they're the same doll. This doll does not have a name. The Christmas after I started putting her in the crib to sleep by herself, I woke to the horrific sight of Mary Elizabeth being gone and this baby in her place. Mary Elizabeth has not changed in state since then. This is what she looked like at the time. My father had nicknamed her Motley Mary. Let me take her hat off and you'll understand more why. I'm sure you can already see why. She's missing most of her hair. She has this lovely little mohawk down the center, bless her. And then all the little holes from where the machine had, you know, stitched her hair on originally. But they are the same doll, and I was so horrified. I never played with her. This is still the original dress that she came in. Her little top knot that Mary Elizabeth actually also used to have. There's remnants of it, bless. But you can see even here that the rubber band has just like decayed away. Like I never even untied her hair, and the ribbon is still there. I was really angry at this doll. Change is not easy, ladies. I never played with her, bless. And when I was 9, we had a closet in our family room that the door actually stood about 3 feet off the floor. Like that was the bottom of the door and it went up. And that's where we kept our games and puzzles and such. And I used to have to stand on something to reach the doorknob, and then I would move the step stool and then jump up in there and look at stuff on shelves. But way up on the top shelf, I noticed this purple box. I'm like, Mommy, what's in that purple box? She's like, do you really want to know? I said, yes. And she pulled it down. I think the whole neighborhood heard me, ladies. I was so excited. There was my Mary Elizabeth. And I should have brought it. I have a little, I still have it. I have a little, it's over in my photo prop area. I have a little glass even flow bottle that actually worked. It was a doll's bottle. And I used to sit in the rocking chair that Genevieve is in, and I would feed her, and I would actually put water in it, and my mom would tell me to stop doing that. Oops, she told me I would ruin her, and I did. You know, her body did get damaged, her little cloth body, and at one point my mom did sew this patch on here to fix her. I don't know if she has like a box inside of her, because she used to, let me see if she still works. No, it's one of those cry box things, but no, can you hear it thudding back and forth? But I don't know if my mom had to cut the fabric or if she just patched over it, to be honest. Anyway, so she put this band here. It's about 1.5 inches wide, and it is pink and white gingham fabric that has embroidered flowers. So there's a red one with a blue center, yellow with a white center, and then she put a pocket, and when I got Mary Elizabeth back, she did have a penny in there. And then she had a little flower there. Mary Elizabeth used to go to the doctor with me, and she'd get a little shot if I got a shot. And I think she went to the dolls hospital once. Some of my babies had to. Well, there was an actual dolls hospital when I was growing up in Chicago, and they'd put them in little hospital gowns. I loved going there. It was such a fun experience. But I think I noticed when I picked her up, I really think I'm going to take this gown off her and hand wash it and give her a little wipe down bless. You're so neglected. I actually have a little suitcase over here in the closet with a handful of her clothing items from my childhood. like I said, I had a little chifforobe. She had a wardrobe, had little hangers. All her clothes were on hangers. The bottom drawer had all her little shoes. She had clothes for every season. She had like a little snowsuit and a raincoat. And I took her everywhere. And in my head, she was real. Like, if anybody picked... See, I still have to pick her up like this. If anybody picked her up, like, by her arm or her leg, I mean, it horrified me. And I have to tell you one story. Let me grab Pam. Oops, I keep kicking my tripod. So, well, this is not the right Pam. Never mind. I'll just show you Pam now that I said. Pam is from my childhood. She has a plastic head. I don't know who made her. Let's see. My eyes are not... I see lettering, but I can't read it. Oh, she has a tag over here. It says my name is Pam Stewart, Inc. of St. Paul, Minnesota. So I left her name Pam because it said my name is Pam. You know, there she told me. This fur actually used to be pink. Her whole body is fur. Let me see if you can see in there that that's more of a whitey pink. I should give her a bath. I'm just afraid, you know, she's so old. I've had her most of my life. Her head is hard plastic. Even her hair is sculpted. Really pretty blue eyes and a cute little mouth. But her whole body is fur with these little pom-poms. But anyway, this was the wrong Pam. So one night when I was about 2 or 3, my mom had told me to tidy my room, which I did. She used to send us to our room after bath, and we would tidy and we would get in bed, and then no, we wouldn't get in bed. We would come sit out on the couch, and she would read us our stories, and then we would go to our room and get in bed, and she would come tuck us in. And so she came in this night. This is when I had the little red bed, and I was not in bed. I was wandering around my room, and she's like, "Why aren't you in bed?" And I said, "I can't find Mary Elizabeth." And she said, "Well, where did you put her when you tidied your room?" I said, "I put her on my bed where I always put her." So we looked for a little while. She asked my brother. He didn't know where she was. And so she said, "Well, you're going to have to go to bed. It's late." And she gave me, sadly, her name was Fat Pink Pam. I had another fur doll that had she actually just had a hard face. Her head was like a hooded, her whole body was dark, hot pink fur. She actually had plastic hands, though, and one was like a fist that had a bottle sticking out, and you could either put the thumb, or I think the thumb of one hand, and then the bottle fit. She had like an O mouth, and she gave me her. She just grabbed her and gave me her to sleep with. That was the one time in my life I went to my parents' bed during the night. I didn't know how to sleep without Mary Elizabeth. And so in the morning, when I was walking from my parents' bedroom, I had to pass my bedroom and then my brother's to get to the kitchen. And I look, and my brother was opening his bottom drawer and pulling out, he had a fabric, like a felt dartboard, that he had these balls that he threw at it. And he was unrolling that, and there was Mary Elizabeth. Well, I just like squealed in such delight, and I ran and I grabbed her. I went back to my room. I didn't even like run and go tattle on him, but my mother came because I shrieked. He got in so much trouble, not only because he took her, but because he lied. Anyway, and I've never not had her since. Of course, you know, I travel and don't take her and stuff, but as a little girl, she was such a huge part of my life, and she was so real to me. And I just grabbed some books from down here because Suzanne shared such a beautiful book that her grandmother gave her, and it was so endearing. And it's actually go watch her video. It's beautiful. But I grabbed a couple books from my shelf here that are about dolls that I love, and I have one. It may have sadly in my get rid of books when we moved. It was a book from my childhood, all about a little girl's love of her doll. And I do have a bin of books here in the closet, and I have some more books upstairs. It may be in one of those places, but these were just here on the shelf. This is a more modern book. It's from the early 2000s. It's called The Very Best Doll. And I'm going to read that at the end of my video. That way, if you're not interested, you can stop there, because I'll just end right after I read that. And then this is Emma Bean. For those of you who know, my rag doll that Genevieve holds is named Emma Bean, after this bunny. It's actually a bunny, not a doll, but it's the story of this little girl with her bunny. And I'm showing this because Suzanne loves bunnies. And it's just a very endearing story of this relationship of this girl with her. And I'll just show you a couple. It's written by Jean von... Lewin, I guess, Leeuwen. I'm guessing it's Jean Von. But anyway, it's I'll just show you a couple. The illustrations are just so beautiful in this book. And let me see what year this one was written. 1993. So this is one, the girl's name's Molly and the little bunny is Emma Bean, but it talks about like when her mom was pregnant and she made the bunny, and then there's Molly as a baby getting Emma Bean, and it's just their whole relationship and how she tells her secrets and, you know, just like puts her in water. I mean, it reminded me of Mary Elizabeth and Me, and I just love, love, love this book. It's so, so sweet. And then I mean, it's such a beautiful story. And, I don't know. It's very long, so I'm not going to read that one. And then this one's called Big Susan by Elizabeth Orton Jones. And it's actually told from the perspective of the dollhouse people. And Susan is like the dollhouse owner. And it's a really, this is also very long. It's actually in chapters. Let me see what year. This was written in 1947. And it doesn't have a ton of illustrations, but it like shows the little doll's house people, and it's all about Susan, how she makes them come to life, basically. It's a really, really sweet story. But then when the time from when I had the replacement doll until I got Mary Elizabeth back at 9. The Christmas after this doll took Mary Elizabeth's place, I was given this baby, who is my Annie back there. Her actual doll name was Puddin'. She came in a beautiful box. She's a Madame Alexander baby doll, and she is the size of a baby. And she became my go-everywhere baby. And she also had a wardrobe with, you know, she had a bunting and a snowsuit and raincoat and everything as well. I took her everywhere. So this was my Annie. And I named her we had friends who, they had recently had their third child. They had already had a boy and a girl, and their third baby, they named her Annie. And I loved that baby. So I named her after her. So she's from my childhood. And then this is Cookie. Bless, Cookie's got a wobbly head. I think she's also a horseman doll, but she's got a tuft of red hair. And then back there, that was my, what was her name? You feed her a bottle and tiny tears. Tears comes down her eyes and she can wet her diaper. I don't think I ever gave her like a different name. And this was my Danielle, my little ethnic baby. I had a couple other ethnic babies. I actually had a lot of dolls growing up, and my aunt had 8 children, her 7th being her only daughter. And we went to visit them when my cousin was about 4 or 5, and she did not have any dolls. And I went home and I packed up a box of my dolls, and we shipped them to her. And Fat Pink Pam was one that she got. Here's Pam. This is my... Okay, I thought it was Thumbelina, but Judy of Lawyer Babies Nurseries corrected me. That is Thumbelina's sister, and she sent me a Thumbelina, so now I have the set. So that was my Thumbelina's sister from my childhood. She still works. This baby, I don't know what she's called. She came with she was in an amusement park, and she has a button, and there were 2 of her. They were twins. And like if you put her in the roller coaster and stuff, there was like that snapped on, and as they went down the hills, their hands went up and stuff. And this little doll was brought back from Colombia for me when I was a little girl. So I've had her since I was a little girl too. So dolls have been a part of my life my entire life. And I don't know a time without a doll. And had there been reborns, oh, like I watch like Aaliyah and just think, oh, how I would have loved to have had these as a little girl. And I watched a video today, Debbie of Reborn Blessed. Her granddaughter was there in her nursery, and she'd given her a baby, and then was like showing her around the room. And I'm thinking, oh, if I would have had access to these babies when I was that age. But I didn't. And, you know, I love the babies that I did have, don't get me wrong. But I just have always, dolls have always been a part of my life. So much so, I have to show you, I was given a doll, oops, at Christmas. My mom and I went to, I told you, our little local Hallmark, and they had like, they sold antiques and all kinds of stuff in there. And I saw this doll and fell in love with her, and my mother snuck and bought her. Let me move Mary Elizabeth. She has a hang tag on. Her name is Jenna, so I'm going to leave her name Jenna. She is kind of a Raggedy Ann type looking doll, like a rag doll. She has super long arms though, but the fabric she's made out of, I wouldn't call it burlap, because it's not. It's a much tighter weave than burlap is. Maybe flour sack. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's like a not really coffee color. It's a tan color, like a brown, I guess. And she has embroidered on eyes that are green, and 2 little slits sewn on for a nose, and a little red slit for her mouth. And then she has this rust color, really thick yarn hair. And she's wearing a brown gingham dress. It's 2 shades of brown. Has a little patches on there, little green patches sewn on. A felt collar that's cream with orange stitching on the edge. And then 2 little, a light brown large button with a small center darker brown button in the center of that on top. Can you hear? They're on top of each other. And then she's wearing little pantaloons that are a cream color, and she has painted on Mary Jane shoes. And in her right hand, she's holding a little wicker basket. I got to get her something for her basket. And then on her collar is safety pinned a little tag that says Jenna. So she actually sits upstairs in our living room on my grandmother's chair, and I've been wanting to show her, and I keep forgetting to bring her down, though I haven't made too many videos since Christmas, so thank y'all for sticking around. But so Jenna lives upstairs in our living room, so this is my most recent baby that my mom gave me. Isn't she lovely? Oh, she's so cute. So yes, dolls have been a very, very important part of my life. Even as a nanny, I love to, even boys, I think, you know, how are they going to learn to be a daddy if they don't have a doll, right? I don't know, that's my thinking anyway. I love dolls. And I saw today Sharon's video with her little granddaughter, May. Oh, I'll have to link that video too. So sweet. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but it's such a cute video. But I just love, love, love dolls. I always have. And it's like, you know, preparing you to be a mommy or a daddy or just a decent human being and nurture and love something beyond yourself. And I actually, I wrote a poem. I don't have it down here. It's in my computer. I'll have to find it one of these days. My mom likes to crochet when somebody's having a baby. She likes to crochet an Afghan, and then she would make a smaller one that would act as like a lovey. And I wrote a poem about, and then she would include that with each gift, about how it is a gift to give a child, to allow them to love something beyond their parents, like allowing them to have this security object, because whether it's a doll or a blanket or a cuddly toy, I mean, I remember as a little girl, like going in my room and crying and talking to Mary Elizabeth. And there's something that about having that connection with a non-human, I guess, that is so endearing and such a huge part of childhood that I think so many children now are missing out on. And it is so very sad. I see so many children, like in the grocery store, they can't even grocery shop. They're on their mother's tablet or phone watching videos and playing games. And it breaks my heart because they're attaching themselves to electronics, and I don't see that that's going to give the same nurturing ability of attaching yourself to a cuddly toy or a doll or a blanket or some kind of security object that just allows you to learn to reach beyond your home. You know what I mean? I hope you know what I'm saying. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, but yeah, let me quickly, I kind of walked around while I was talking. Maisie says hi to her mommy, and let me show little Miss Mama's little monkey. She says hi to her mommy. She found her mommy. And she's all nuzzled up here with Juliet. Aren't they so sweet together? Let me take her little passy off so you can see her sweet little mouth. Oh, bless her. She's so sweet. But I'm going to quickly read the that book. It's a very short book. And it's very sweet. So if you have a little one who doesn't necessarily enjoy the videos, but they like stories, it is kind of a girl story, I guess, because it's about, it doesn't have to be, though, but it's just really sweet. It's called The Very Best Doll by Julia Noonan. And it's like a little Raggedy Ann rag doll. Let me just open to the first page and make sure that this is all visible. I'm going to actually hold the camera. I think that'll be better that way. And this doll here is Nell. Nell was a just right kind of doll. A show lots of wear doll. Always been there doll. Soft cloth kind of doll. A play in the flowers. Talk to for hours. Dream with kind of doll. They're outside. They made a mud cake. And there is Nell sitting in the garden with her little girl. A sunshine or rain, never complain, loyal kind of doll. They came in from the garden, and look, she gave Nell, well, Nell's foot is in the sink. She gave her a little bath, and she's hanging, and I used to do this. I used to launder my doll's clothes. I had a little plastic, I wanted to call it a post office. It was a mailbox that you could, like, put letters in it. But it had the slot at the top, but then the bottom opened. That was my washing machine. I would put water and soap in there and the clothes, and I would open and close, and that like shook my clothes. And then I would like have a mess all over the bathroom floor that I had to clean up. But that was my version of a washing machine. Okay. A kiss on the head, snuggle in bed, smell right kind of doll. Look, they're all ready for bed. Look, Suzanne, she has a bunny lamp. See if I can turn the page. Then came a new doll, a big gift for you doll, silk dress of blue doll, birthday surprise. So now she has like a porcelain doll who's dressed like a ballerina with her little blue toe shoes on. And I'm the best doll, tea party guest doll. Every girl wants one beautiful doll. And there they are having a tea party. Oh, Suzanne, it's toile. See? I remembered. This pattern reminded me of your toile because she wanted to know how to say that. Told you I'd try to remember. A styleable hair doll, rather not share doll, has her own wardrobe, dressy new doll. All right, did any of y'all ever cut your doll's hair? I did. I cut my own hair too when I was a little girl. Cut my bangs off. Whoops. Oh, what a playtime. Best doll all daytime. Oh, what a birthday. There they are on the swing out in the garden. Till it was night. Someone is yearning, tossing and turning. Something is missing. Someone feels sad. There they are in their bed, but see, they each are on a separate pillow. Her beautiful porcelain doll has rollers in her hair, and they have matching nightgowns, and she has her happy birthday princess crown. And she's just kind of looking over at her doll a little forlornly. She had a great birthday with her, but I need my old doll, cuddle and hold doll. I need to find her and kiss her good night. She's digging around in her bed looking for her. Look at her beautiful doll's house that she has. Come out, my sweet doll, my under-the-sheet doll. Come meet my new doll, Nellie, my Nell. She found Nellie under the bedclothes, and she's taking her up there to see her new doll. I can sleep tight now. Everything's right now. Snuggled up close to my very best doll. So now her new doll is asleep next to her on the pillow, and she's got her little hand over her, and she's all snuggled up with Nell. And look at that big smile on Nell's face. Oh, isn't that sweet? I love dolls, and I love books. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope everybody has a blessed rest of your week. I am going to head out now and get back to work. And stay tuned for some works in progress. And thank you very much, Suzanne, for this very thoughtful conversation you have brought up, because it is true. Dolls are such a part of many of us well before the reborns. And I think many of us hold lots of dolls dear to our heart. And I know many of you have dolls from your childhood and collect other kind of dolls as well. So, but thank you for seeing my babies with me and hearing my little shortened version of my childhood with my dolls. And have a blessed day, everybody, and stay warm if you're where it's cold, and if you're where it's warm, stay cool. And oh, I have to say one more thing, because Suzanne mentioned, you know, she would like to crawl into her refrigerator because it's so hot there in Australia. I have a friend of mine who I've known for many years from South Africa, and she was in Chicago in the winter and was trying to describe it to her family back home, and this is how she described it. Winter in Chicago. She said, imagine stepping inside of a walk-in freezer, turning on a fan that's blowing at you, and someone's throwing rain through the fan. That is a very good description of winter in Chicago. So, because Suzanne said she couldn't imagine being that cold. So there's a good description for you to try to grasp how cold it is. I walked out today to get the mail, and I have on I mean, it looks like just lacy sleeves, but I do have a long sleeve white t-shirt under it, and it was cold. It is bitter cold again. We do have sun today. Yesterday there was very little sun, and it was cold yesterday. Again, I only went out. Well, I did run a couple errands yesterday, and I did get the mail yesterday. But today I don't have to go anywhere, and it is Arctic again. So there's a little description for you, Suzanne. I don't know if you want to try to imagine that, but that's kind of what it is. So anyway, again, have a blessed day, and thank you again for stopping by. And remember to find your joy every day. Find something to be joyful for. Hugs and blessings from all of us. Bye-bye.